Alright, welcome to another keyboard review video. I'm your review guide, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Tecware Spectre Pro. And if you guys are thinking about picking one of these bad boys up, I put Amazon links down below in the description. Alright, so in front of me I have the Tecware Spectre Pro. It is a full-size keyboard, and you can find this on Amazon for only 60 bucks since it is constantly on sale from $80. But let's get this thing unboxed. Alright, the Tecware Spectre Pro definitely has a nice weight to it. Alright, so the extra stuff you get in the box besides just the keyboard is a nice braided detachable USB-C cable, which is both-sided gold-plated, some extra switches in case some of yours wear out over time, and some pullers. Alright, but getting the extra features out of the way, let's go into the review of the Tecware Spectre Pro. So, talking about build quality, like I said when I unboxed it, it is quite heavy. Now, the whole thing does seem to be made out of plastic, but since it is such a thin case for this keyboard, it doesn't have too much of a hollow sound. You definitely can't hear the reverberations, but overall not too bad, especially because this is constantly on sale for 60 bucks. So the flip-up rises when you flip them up. They don't take a lot of pressure to flip up, but once they get there, they do lock in place really nicely and are really quite solid. They do have rubber padding on the bottom of them, which will help not scratch the desk, as well as keep it more stationary when you're gaming or typing. And there are also some nice rubber pads down at the bottom. Other than those things, nothing really to see on the back of it. You do have the USB-C connection in there. It does look rather tight, so I will have to test it with a custom coil cable to see if it'll fit there, but know that if you are going to use a custom cable in here, you're going to need one that has a skinny lip around it. Alright, so flipping it back over to the front, again, this is a pretty skinny profile, but there is a banding around the side of it, and from the box and the pictures that it showed, it does look like there's going to be a strip of RGB running around the entirety of the keyboard. But overall, with everything considered, with the price factored in, this is a very sturdy keyboard. It has a nice weight to it, and it does not slip around on the desk too much. Let's talk about this volume knob over here. So the nice thing that I want to mention is that this is a very tactile volume knob. You can feel the bumps after each turn of this, which is really nice because you definitely want some tactile feedback when you're gaming, so you know just how much you're turning the knobs. Alright, so we plugged in the Tecware Spectre Pro. Jumping right into it, even with all of these lights on to the left, right of me, above me, a lot of studio lights, it has really solid looking RGB. Now, pulling a switch off, it does have a white backplate, which definitely, as you can see, helps to bounce the RGB upwards. So that was really smart in the design from Tecware. It is a bottom-mounted RGB, and overall, the keyboard looks really nice. But let's talk switches. I have these in outemu red switches, and again, outemus are a budget kind of switch. Definitely a more budget mechanical keyboard switch. They are a little bit scratchy, but again, for 60 bucks for a full-size keyboard, they are to be expected. If you wanted to make them sound a little bit better, you could also lube these switches. But the big thing about this keyboard, let's see if it is hot swappable. So my assumption was correct. Since it did come with these extra switches in the box, this is hot swappable with other outemu switches, so, which is awesome because obviously if a switch breaks, you have some replacement ones right here to put into the board. Or if you want to upgrade this keyboard, mod it out a little bit, like putting in some browns, or if you like blue switches, you can switch those outemu switches in here, or you can mod this keyboard by putting Akko CS Switches in this keyboard, which are a way more high quality switch, and you can get those on Amazon. I will also have links to those switches down below, so you can go check out the different kinds that Akko offers. So it's really awesome to know this is hot swappable with the outemu switches or the Akko CS Switches. Really cool that you can modify this board and make it even better. But now that we've given a brief overview of these switches and what you can do with them, let's do a little bit of a typing test. Wow. These stabilizers really do feel solid. Let's get these space bars off again to take a closer look. Okay, so we have the space bar off. I'm gonna give you guys a closer look at these stabilizers. They are really snug into the back plate of this keyboard, which is great because it doesn't provide for a lot of rattling when you're typing on it. And as you guys can hear from the sound test, it has a pretty consistent sound along the entirety of the spacebar, which is really awesome, especially for a full-size keyboard for 60 bucks. It's great that they definitely are giving you your money's worth. On top of them being really snug into the back plate of this keyboard, they are also lubed. I don't know how easy it is for you guys to see that, but the staplers in the Tecware Spectre Pro are definitely lubed. So that gives this keyboard a really solid typing and gaming experience. All right, but let's talk more about RGB. So obviously from this view, you guys can see that this has a full RGB lighting on the top, as well as RGB around the volume knob, which I think looks really nice, but it also has RGB all around the sides of it as well, which really looks cool in my opinion. So let's see the different lighting modes. This did not come with a manual. You have to scan the QR code on the box. So let's see how easy it is to change the RGB. So you click FN, RGB, it'll come to a static rainbow, and then if you want pink, pick a button that's pink, and then your keyboard will be pink. In order to get it back to rainbow after you press the FN RGB, all you do is hit FN RGB, and then you hit that space bar, and it'll go back to the waving kind of rainbow mode of the RGB. All right, so that's how you change the top part of the RGB, but if you want to change the RGB for the volume knob or the sides of it, all you have to do is hit FN and then these keys over here, and that one is going to switch the color of the volume knob, as you guys can see. And then if you want to switch the sides of the RGB, all you do is press FN key and then the pause, and that is going to switch between the different lighting modes on the Spectre Pro from Tecware. So we pull the keycap off, and in terms of keycaps, the font is fine. I really like the font of the Tecware Spectre Pro, but I don't ever like to see these white print on top font for mechanical keyboards. I think it looks a little bit messy with them on, but again, that is personal preference. Looking at the keycap, these are double shot ABS. So they are gonna last you a lot longer than regular ABS keycaps. Again, PBT, if you want longevity, are definitely the way to go. These don't feel bad. They have a little bit of graininess to them, so they are a little bit more grippy, but they are quite slick. This is a pretty standard full-size keyboard layout, so finding replacement keycaps for this will not be hard at all. So they aren't the best keycaps in the world, they're just ABS. They will wear down over time and get that shiny effect, but since they are a double shot, they are gonna last a lot longer, quite a decent amount of time, but if you're looking for high quality keycaps, that is not on this board. You're definitely gonna have to buy some replacements for these later on down the road, but for a year or more, they should be fine. All right, but that is all there is to the Spectre Pro from Tecware. This is a really nice full-size keyboard, especially for like that budget to mid price range for a keyboard. It definitely has a solid typing experience. It is a heavy keyboard, like I said in the beginning of this video. Switches are nice. They are budget outemus, but you can swap them out with other outemus or Akko CS switches, which again is a more high quality switch. These stabilizers are really firmly fit to the board, which creates a really solid typing and gaming experience for this keyboard. So who is the Spectre Pro for? This keyboard is for somebody who is getting into mechanical keyboards. They want a full-size form factor, really nice customizable RGB that looks very attractive on the desk, and a nice typing experience for the money, but also the availability to switch out different switches or put custom keycaps on this when their preference changes over time. That is who the Spectre Pro from Tecware is for. I would definitely recommend this keyboard if you fall into the category that I described. Again, this thing is constantly on sale for 60 bucks, but definitely check out the link below. For 60 bucks, this keyboard is definitely a good buy. All right, so that was my full unboxing and review of the Spectre Pro from Tecware. Again, if you guys do want to pick one of these keyboards up, I put Amazon links down below in the description. I really hope this video helped you guys out. If it did, it'd be awesome if you could hit that like button or that subscribe button. But I was your keyboard review guide, and I'll see you in the next video.